figure out what's going on happens, figuring out where the tools are to get the door off the hinges. And during all of this chaos, you know, the flood's just getting worse. I don't know if the janitors had misplaced the tool, if it wasn't something they had often, but it takes about 15 minutes for the teachers to end up getting back with the tool to take the door off the hinges. And in that amount of time, an insane amount of water continues to flood down the stairs and flood the school. Because like I said, he had clogged all the toilets and kept flushing them. He had all the sinks clogged and just kept pressing the buttons. There's literally water pouring down the stairs, and like the teachers are running around trying not to slip and fall, looking for everything they need to fix this. Seriously, I feel like the water flow at one point was so much that it was described as like the potential ninth wonder of the world, you know, just a magnificent waterfall in the middle of nowhere falling. Wow, nature is incredible. Only difference is, except like, you know, most waterfalls are from nature, this one's just from some crazy kid smacking the sink button every 15 seconds. Anyways, finally the teachers managed to get like the hinges off, and they all storm in there, like the school cop, the janitors, you know, and they're stomping in there, and you can like hear the splashes of their feet when they go in because it's just flooded, you know. And as they go into the bathroom and go around the corner, the group that was watching them can't see exactly what's going on, right? But what they do hear is Gerald laughing maniacally and all the adults screaming like, "Get him!" and then a bunch of what sounds like someone trying to grab somebody. And out of the bathroom comes Gerald, dude, which is obviously not what they're expecting. All the angry adults went in to capture him, and out comes Gerald. And so Gerald runs out of the bathroom covered in water, just like covered in it. Obviously, he'd been in a room that was flooding, and he just starts sprinting down the hallway away from the bathroom, still laughing the entire time like this is hilarious. You'd think by this point the reality might have been setting in that like he's about to get expelled, you know, he flooded the school. No, he probably was so spoiled he thought his parents would somehow manage to get him out of this, but he's gotten out of the bathroom. No teachers have noticed he's out yet, and he's just sprinting down laughing like an evil villain. And at that point, the school cop comes out of the bathroom covered in water and starts trying to like run after him, and they're assuming that he got covered in water too by like trying to tackle Gerald in the flooded bathroom or something. And as he starts to sprint after Gerald, obviously a lot of the hallway has become flooded. There's just water everywhere, and he ends up slipping. So Gerald is now like kind of on his way out of the school with nobody that he thinks between him and the door. And so when Gerald sees the cop fall, he literally throws his hand up and starts screaming like, "Wet bandit strike again!" You know, he feels like he got one over on everybody. No way he's going to get caught. And he's near an exit door, and it just so happens that he slams it open and he starts to run out. And for some reason, just by horrible luck on Gerald's part, there's a teacher on the other side who just grabs his shirt because he assumes that he's trying to make a break from trouble or something, right? And so he's caught. And so the teacher's got his shirt, and Gerald immediately, now that the teacher has him, changes his tune. The whole evil villain laughing, everything's hilarious, thing drops, and he looks at the teacher who has his shirt, and he's like, "I didn't do anything, I swear there was somebody else in the bathroom who flooded it. They locked me in the bathroom, I wasn't allowed to leave. Oh my gosh, it was a ghost, it was a ghost." Just like saying any excuse he could think of to this teacher about why he didn't do it. And obviously, it was just hilarious to the people that had watched the situation, because like, you know, when Gerald wasn't going to be in trouble, it's hilarious, laughing like there's no tomorrow, you know, sounding like a hyena with a chainsaw. But he's just like on the other side of the door, just, you know, torturing the poor janitors. They're gonna have to blood. As soon as the teacher gets him though, oh my gosh, it was the ghost, man. I'm telling you, it was a ghost. Yeah, the plumber ghost, you know, of the school that hates us. Obviously, the teacher hadn't even said anything yet, you know, and just instantly starts going with the ghost excuse. At that point, though, the bell rings, so people start coming out into the hallway and just seeing all of this chaos, and they don't want the kids to see all this. They have to clean up the mess. They have to do a whole lot before it's safe to just let everybody start running back out in the hallway. So they start ushering everybody back to class, you know, and the group that had been watching this go down obviously gets caught up in that and gets kind of ushered back to class. And as they get back to class, everybody's talking about it. You know, what happened? What went down? Obviously, a rumor like this is going to spread like wildfire, because it's not every day somebody just decides to try to flood the school, you know? So rumors are
Stay safe and shop online on takealot.com. Find us on your phone, desktop, or download the free Takealot app and get your first delivery on app. Avoid the queues and get everything you need delivered safely to your door. Find something for everyone on your shopping list, big, furry, or small. Check out the kitchen with the appliances. Get a wide range of beauty products like makeup, skincare, and
Actually,
styling tools, or shop all the tech and office essentials you need to get the
What?
job done. Simply choose any of our safe and secure payment options like
it is for us though.
instant EFT, eBACS, and more. Takealot will deliver wherever you are, even to friends and family, near or far. Or you can choose to collect from over 70 Takealot pickup points nationwide. Keep track of your order on your account or log a return online. You'll collect the item hassle-free. It's as simple as that. Join over 2.5 million happy shoppers online today. Stay safe, practice social distancing, and shop online on takealot.com.
Swirling, and the people that actually saw what went down are just like, none of these rumors make any sense. Literally, one of the rumors that was going around about why the flood happened had nothing to do with Gerald, right? But instead, they assumed that the Illuminati had broken into the school and for some reason decided to flood it, which, you know, I don't know why that was the route in their head that they jumped to make a rumor, because, like, it's pretty obvious that wouldn't happen. Why would the Illuminati be wasting their time flooding a high school? It makes no sense as to why they would even be there. Imagine the Illuminati board meeting, you know, it's like all the billionaires, all the presidents, everybody in charge of the woods, or the world, not the woods, I guess technically the woods, but also the world, and they're like, hey man, I know we're destabilizing school at 7 p.m., but I was thinking at 1 we could just go flood this random school for no reason. They won't even know it's the Illuminati. Actually, no, we should tell them it's the Illuminati. But yeah, I just feel like we should go flood this random place, and everybody in the board meeting, you know, like all the billionaires are like, yeah, that's a genius idea, that makes sense to me. Anyways, obviously people are just kind of saying whatever about the rumor, and the subscriber had gotten put back into the class he was in before, so the teacher that organized the scavenger hunt. So he's kind of talking to the teacher about everything, because obviously the teacher didn't really know what had gone down, and he's like, it was insane, you know, the janitors were banging on the door trying to get in, and Gerald was on the other side laughing. And the teacher kind of stops him when he mentioned it was Gerald and turns white as a ghost. He goes, wait a second, it was Gerald that flooded the school? Like, you're telling me that Gerald was involved in this? And obviously the subscriber just kind of confirms it, because, like, yeah, it was Gerald, you know, he was the one that flooded it. And the teacher's like, do you think the administration's going to get mad at me? And they're like, well, why would they get mad at you? And he starts talking about how Gerald had said he was going to get the teacher in trouble, and so maybe because it had happened during the scavenger hunt, this was going to get blamed on him. And, you know, that didn't end up happening, thankfully, but, like, at that point, it kind of clicked what Gerald's overarching evil plan had kind of been in the first place. I guess somehow in Gerald's mind it made sense that, like, the teacher was somehow going to get blamed for him deciding to flood the school. I mean, that's not what happened, thankfully, but, like, I guess in his mind, you know, the administration would look at all of this that went down and was like, this teacher made him do a scavenger hunt? Obviously, that's the reason he was pushed to flooding the school. Without the scavenger hunt, this would have never happened. Fire the teacher. How are they going to hold this random dude accountable for flooding the school that literally had nothing to do with it, right? Like, he was not the person flooding the bathroom, Gerald. You can't really blame someone for that if they had nothing to do with it. That's like, you know, just speeding in a car, and when the cop pulls you over and it's like, why are you speeding? Being like, well, you made me speed, actually. It's like, well, I mean, not really, you know, it's not really how this works. I would not have flooded the bathroom if this teacher didn't make me do a scavenger hunt. It's like, yeah, but the teacher didn't tell you to do the scavenger hunt. He didn't provide instructions and tell you to do it. You know, good one, Gerald. Like, how is the teacher gonna get in trouble, dude? They literally caught Gerald flooding everything. How would that have been the teacher's fault? Unless he literally gave him instructions on how to do it. Anyways, obviously it backfired. Teacher didn't end up getting in trouble for Gerald's shenanigans. However, Gerald did end up getting expelled, which, I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised, dude. You kind of leave them with no choice when you flood the entire school, and then when they're like, hey, please let us in to stop flooding the school, you just laugh at them and make fun of them. And for like an hour, they have to go get tools to rip the door off the hinges. Yeah, you're probably gonna get expelled. Like, you know, I don't really know what the message they're sending to the school would be if he just showed back up on school like Monday. Everybody there is like, oh, I can basically start a riot and nothing will happen. That's lit. Even though they did end up getting rid of him, it didn't change the fact that, like, kids ended up making memes about this, which obviously they're going to, bro. If someone floods your school, it's going to become a joke at the school. Whenever teachers would give, like, too much homework or anything, an anonymous letter would be written to the teacher about how, like, if they didn't stop, the school was going to flood and blah, 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 blah. And the teachers wouldn't stop giving homework off of that. Like, don't get it wrong, the notes didn't do anything, but you know, it was just kind of the type of shenanigans people would get up to afterwards. And honestly, man, Gerald did become like a little bit of a folk villain. I won't say folk hero, because people weren't like, yo, that Gerald guy was lit, but people would be like, remember when Gerald flooded the school? That was crazy. Overall, I just thought this was some next level spoiled kid behavior. You know, it's flooding a school instead of doing homework or a scavenger hunt is like a pretty much the largest aversion to work I've ever heard of. You have to basically think work is the most evil thing ever existed to decide that like flooding the school is somehow a better alternative to just doing the homework. And all of this over a scavenger hunt, like one of the most fun things you could possibly get assigned that still work. Imagine what he would have done if it was a Scantron test, dude. He probably would have tried to burn it down instead. Like a real test would have absolutely melted his brain, man. No reason to get mad at this type of easy work. I do say, though, the teacher who caught him by accident, you know, just grabbed his shirt, probably did feel like a secret agent for a pretty long time afterwards. Like he had just wiggled from the hands of justice, and there he was. Perfect timing to catch him right before he escaped. Gary the geometry teacher, national hero, baby. That's what we need more of, Gary the geometry teacher. Anyways, other than that, they only had one staircase at the school for about a month. Obviously, the other one had flooded, had a bunch of water damage, and it took about a month for them to fix it. But, you know, during that time, it was a pain at the school because everybody had to just, like, use one stair. But, yeah, it ended up getting fixed, and overall, I just thought the story was something you guys would enjoy. Moral of the story, though, don't flood the school to get out of work. It's probably just not worth it. You're going to end up with a huge repair bill, probably, and getting expelled. And it's just also not cool to flood a school, alright? You shouldn't need a reason. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. This is one of my longest videos in a bit, so if